Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing good. Hello, Mike and Dennis and Bill, Crazy Jay, and Grayson. I think that's everybody so far. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. Nope. And Jeremy now. Hello. Hope everything is good. Today was a pretty nice day today. It was a little cloudy in the morning, but then the sun came out and it got into the upper mid to upper 80s. I think got up to 87. Humidity was still pretty high. That's good. It's all good, Bill. Ravenshire Farms. Yeah, everything's going pretty good here too. Um, got all my split. I'm done doing all my splits. Um, Thursday will be graft number two. 2 weeks after they emerge. So starting Thursday, Friday this weekend, I'll be checking those through next Thursday, marking which ones got made it and which ones are not. The ones that are not, I'll hold off till middle of next week. And if they're not made it, I'm combining them into my 10 frames splits. And I still got five of those out of the first 12 that need to have made it queens. And then I'm making six more 10 frame splits starting tomorrow. Actually, I'm not done making splits. I have six more to do. Hey, Collector Rick. Yeah, good time to buy silver right now. I didn't check gold, but I'm sure gold's be coming down a little bit more too. Now, gold's about at its bottom. Silver's got probably one more dip down to mid 50s. My theory. Hey, Clay. Good to see you on here. Um, So tomorrow I'm pulling honey. So I am behind schedule because I usually pull by the 4th of July, and now it's the 7th of July. So I'll be pulling on the 8th of July. Not too far behind. Well, Rick, you know what? You got a swarm. I got called on a swarm yesterday, but it already went into the house and then became a cutout. They landed on the house, and 5 minutes later, before I could she messaged me back, it was already in the house. So they wasted no time. And Sarah, Happy Bees, she had a swarm fly into one of her stock empty boxes. Hey, Randy, good to see you here. Tar Heel Beekeepers, good guy. Always look forward to seeing Randy at the Nobby. Jeremy, yep. All right, Bill. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish my prairie number three. I have six more hives on there, and one of them's a monster hive. I think it's got two deeps and five supers on it, or four supers, two deeps and four supers. That's the one I'm going to tackle first thing tomorrow morning. And then out of the next five, I think one of them I'll leave. Probably I got four more after that. Then I got to check. If you look at my background, there's two horizontal hives. There's big ones. One has four hives in it. The other one has three hives in it. I need to pull that honey, and that's just pulling deep frames. Just no supers on those babies. So I'll pull them hopefully tomorrow. If not, I'll be doing it the next few days. We're supposed to get isolated rain tomorrow. Then we're supposed to get rain on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe. Chances of rain. So maybe then I think it's supposed to have cool down. Then it's supposed to back up in the 90s. So this next to about next Monday, Tuesday is the best time for me to pull honey before it gets really hot again. get that finished up. So when I'm pull up the 10 frame boxes, I have four of them over in the other property, with bees in them. I'm not going to be, I'll be taking those boxes with the bees. I'll just be making sure there's no queen in them. There shouldn't be. I know one of them or three of them I think are above the queen excluder. Yeah, I'll be here before you know it, Randy. I'm going to take those and make my six splits out of those four 10 frame boxes. And then once I get mated queens in them, because I'm going to, the second round, when I get mated queens, those queens will be going in there. And once the queen's laid in there for like 3 or 4 days, then I'll go ahead and pull the honey out of them, except for the frame that she's laying on, extract them, and put the frames back in. So that's my game plan. So those I'll be pulling tomorrow, but I'll be keeping the bees in them until they orient or do orientation, like 3 days, 4 days, and then I'll pull the honey out of them. I might leave some of the honey with the split just to help them out a little bit. Leave them one frame. Depends on how the egg pattern is, larvae pattern, brood pattern is on the frame. So, Dennis, you think you need a bigger spinner? Yeah, I converted my 8 frame radical deeps or mediums to a 16 frame, eight deeps, six supers, or 16 or eight deeps, eight supers, or 16 supers. So that seems to work pretty good for my size yard. So I'll be doing splits, but I won't be doing any more grafting. The queens I got going in my 19 splits, I should have at least 10, 12 mated queens out of those 19, if not like 15. And six of them will go in there. And then I'll hold the other ones to see how my other 5, 10 frames are doing with its cells. I won't be able to check on them until the 28th of July. So, because those emerged out on the 4th of July, my graft number 3. So graft number 1 was VHS, which I got 9 cells out of. Graft number 2 was the Black Beauty, the German Black Queen, and I got 21 total out of the 20, 22 out of the 25. I gave a couple cells away, so I think I got 21 splits that I did here. 19 of them here, and 2 of them went into hives that needed queens. Um, and then my second, my third graft was my third graft was 19 splits I got out of the other one. And then my third graft was VHS again, the other VHS queen. And I got 25 cells. I lost 3 queens. 2 queens died on me. They didn't get them out in time, and I didn't check them. It got a little too hot, and it got up to 90 degrees. One, she disappeared on me. She got out of the little cage I put her in. They ate the candy out, and she's gone. And the bees are gone too. I didn't have the lid on all the way, and they left the box. Even though I had a little bit of golden patty in there and sugar water, they still left the box. So I don't know where that queen went. 2 died. I gave 1 cell away. So I think I have 21, um, 21 more splits I did. I put queens in the hives. So I should have enough queens. In fact, I should have some mated queens coming up here in the near future, this month, and by the end of the month. So if anybody, yeah, Bill, I'll let you know because you're first on my list. If I got any of those black mated queens. So I should. I mean, I seen the first dragonfly 2 days ago. I haven't seen it since. So, all right, here, this is a good people that put the swarm traps way up in the tree. My swarm trap was sitting on the ground about 4.5 foot drop and then upside down for about I don't know how long, but I put them back on the tree, and now I haven't checked them later. That's cool. I actually only have one trap left out at my friend's house, and I have two of them in my backyard just sitting there. I haven't baited them or nothing. They're just sitting there empty. Good frames in them. Um, but that's it. They, I checked them today. There was no swarms in them. So there's still a few little swarms out there. But like they say, swarms in July, let them fly. If I get a hold of a swarm this time of year, I'll just put one of my mated queens in them or a virgin queen in them. Six frame, okay. So Bill, I should have. I mean, I had 19 splits out there. I would think I need six for sure. I want to hold probably three or four for backup. So that's like nine or 10. So I should have a few extra if I had any success. I mean, I got five out of eight last time. Or no, I got five left out of 10. I got 50% last time. Well, 60%. But just 2 weeks before that, I was two for two. So who knows? Wow. You definitely had that bolted down. I don't put any of my traps in the trees. I put them on chairs and tables and anywhere I can find get a foot off the ground with a concrete block or 6 inches. Maybe when I was younger, or actually, tree stands work pretty good. In fact, next year I got a tree stand in my backyard. I'm putting a trap in my tree stand. See how that works. It's in a cedar tree. So, hey, Rick with Block Family, how you doing? I think think you've been on the last week or so. I have to double check that. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Of course, I can't find it. No, yeah, in Nebraska. I remember now. Hope everything's going good with you, Rick. So I don't know. I should have some VHS queens. Hey, Brian, I should have some VHS queens, which will be the first 14 days after they merged out will be July 28th. So right around the 1st of August, I'll know if I have any extra VHS queens. So the German block, I should know at the end by next weekend to the week after to middle of next by the Thursday of next week, I should know for sure. Not this coming Thursday, the Thursday after that. That'll be 3 weeks. All right, Rick, that's good. 10 hives. I think I'm up to, well, with all my splits, I probably have like 70 hives right now, but I think I'll be going into winter somewhere between 45 and 50. 45 hives probably, because I'll be combining some. Well, I'll be anything that gets combined will be going into my 18 deep. So, like I said, any splits now that does not get a except for my 10 framers, the six I got to do plus the other five, all my mated queens will go into them, and then um, I have three of my six framers that I put cells in them that I need. They'll be getting checked this Thursday, and so I need six, possibly up to three or four more. I probably need about 10 mated queens, and I really want to go with six mated queens in my horizontal hive, my five frames. Hey Keith, hope everything's going good down there where you're at. I saw you pulled some honey. Saw your video. I'm going to be pulling my last pull tomorrow and the next few days. Tomorrow I plan to get all my prairies. We'll be finishing up. My prairie number 4, there's about another box of deep frames, but I just replaced all four of those hives with virgin queens from the um, third graft. So those cells just went in on the 4th of July. No, I put that. Those got the second graft. Well, I don't remember which queens they got. They're not open on the holidays, so I went there Thursday. Hmm. So well, either way, they got some virgin queens in them. Oh, they got the second graft, so I need to check those. Those will get checked next week, and I'll take a couple mated queens with me just in case from the other splits. Something like that. Well, I'll go there, see how if I'm 3 for 4 or 4 for 4 or 2 for 4, come back and get some queens and go back. That's probably what I end up doing. That's about a 20-minute drive, so not too far. Back into the western side of Cincinnati. So those were all three of them were swarms, and one was a laying worker swarm that I shook out and put a virgin cell in there. And I'm trying to replace all those queens with my virgin mated queens. So I got those four to take care of too, and I want to make sure that I get four good. I get four mated queens on those four hives. Hey Russell, um, so I do need some queen, but I got a bunch of queens coming, so I should have queens. Then it'll be just a matter of building them. The 18 10 framers that go on top of the hives at wintertime, that's my number one priority. The 3 10 framers, 6/6 framers I got behind my barn, that's my second priority. And then the four hives over in the prairie number um, 4 and prairie number 3, it's got one hive that I put a virgin in. Um, those will be my priorities to get mated queens in them. And I made a split over my friend's farm on the 4th of on the on the 4th of July, and that swarm that flew in at the end of April only didn't have any good frames of brood. It had 5 frames of spotty brood. Um, one frame was pretty good, but I wouldn't call it great. So I made a split, put 3 frames of brood with my virgin queen cell, and left the original swarm with 2 cells. And I want to replace that queen also because it's a dud. But I'll take that. My last queens that I got to check on the 28th of July. I'll go back down after that. I gave a cell to a new friend, Kurt, that lives between Beebe, Indiana, and Madison, Indiana. It's got a 111-acre farm. He built a log cabin house. Just finished it. He's actually still kind of finishing up on it. Just built it last year, and really nice guy. He's about the same. I didn't ask him how old he is, but I would guess he's about the same age as I am, 65 to 70. Uh, his wife passed away, and he's got a girlfriend. That's all I know. He's a friend. He's a common friend of one of my friends, and he's just now starting to be a beekeeper. He got a swarm that's doing really well in April from his neighbor's property from a tree that fell over, and the queen lived. And he made a split with that with one of my virgin queens. And I told him if that virgin queen didn't get mated, I'll give him one of my VHS queens when I see him. Um, next time I go down, probably the very end of July or the 1st of August. Hi, Amber. Ambees, I should say Ambees, not Amber. Ambees honey. Amber. So still kind of busy. My beekeeping won't end until August basically. Honey will be pulled and all my splits will be taken care of one way or another. Yeah, Amber, got it. Ambees bees. Glad you're on here. Um, Nothing really else new besides that, all that kind of stuff. The house has come along pretty good. Got the quartz countertop put in yesterday. And the painters were back today. They got all the trim painted, and tomorrow they start painting the walls. So once they get the walls painted, then the electrician and plumber can come in. So by the end of this week, everything should be done except for the last coating of hardener on the floor, which will probably be early next week, and then it'll be finished. Yeah, I try to keep Amber. Thank you. I try to keep it friendly. I mean, why? I mean, if you knew my history a little bit, I think some people here know my history a little bit. My 7/11/03 history, the day, my second birthday, basically. Um, you won't ever find a language out of me or me trying to hurt another person. I do still have a little. I do like precision, and when people don't um, try their best, that kind of irks me a little bit. But as I'm getting older, it doesn't bother me anymore. I mean, they don't have to be perfect, just to try their best. So, Clay, did you get any rain? I forgot to ask him that when he posted on here earlier. Hopefully, he got some rain and he's gotten some flow going. Last weekend, we were supposed to get rain 4 days. And the first 2 days it didn't rain. That was Thursday, Friday. Saturday night, we got like 11 o'clock, right after all the fireworks were shooting. Mother Nature had fireworks, a lot of lightning, and we got an inch and a quarter of rain. So the ground's just now drying today from Saturday. And now it's supposed to rain again tomorrow. Okay. Well, an inch ain't bad, Clay. That'll get the flowers with some nectar. That's what we got. A little inch and a quarter about on the fourth. Uh, now it's actually on the third to the fourth. About an hour's worth of downpour. It knocked all my milkweed over on the other side of the barn. I got a bunch of milkweed, knocked it all over. All right, a few showers, so you're getting there. I haven't heard anything from Nobby yet if I'm going to be a vendor or not. So I know he posted that the Gen V opened up. What am I up to? Wrestle? Okay, that's good that you caught your first two. I think I caught 13 swarms this year. Um, well, I think I caught like five or six swarms in traps, and I got about seven or eight when people call me about bees in their trees or in their bushes and stuff like that. I think this year every swarm I got called like that were in trees. Using your handy dandy tote. Yeah, that's all I use, Amber, as my totes now. I don't have, I burnt all my wooden ones. I use nothing but the totes. And well, the newer totes are all in the warm way. The older totes I built a few years ago is the cold way. And they both work, but I didn't post this because I didn't have my phone with me when I was down. Oh, thank you, Amber. Those were when I put the four traps down at my friend's farm, I had two the warm way and two the cold way. And the first two swarms went into the warm way, not the cold way. So, and I didn't get that filmed. I was so angry. I should have. That would have been perfect opportunity, and I blew it. So now I just got two hives there. One with a dud mated queen and one with a virgin queen. I got two 8 frame hives, complete hives, wax boiled in my barn. And I have about six deep 10 frame deep boxes, but I don't have any bottom boards and lids. So I can't do any more. I don't want to put 8 frame hives and 10 frame hives on my friend's farm. It's going to be all 10 frame. Like, it's an hour drive. I don't want to be taking down two different stuff. And then, oh crap, I don't have that. I don't have another box. So I can always just take 10 frame down. So at Nobby next year, I'll buy some um, extra bottom boards and extra lids. I need to buy a lot of lids. My lids are in pretty bad shape. I need to buy a lot more lids. I like long lids. I have the long flaps, side pieces that are long, and everybody makes them so short. Because I like putting an inch and 2 inches of insulation on top of my hive. So I'd like the top to be at least 2 inches, 3 inches long. The only people I know that put them long like that is Beeline. So I might be buying some of the, but I want to buy telescoping lids, but they got migratory lids that's got good long sides on them. Is the other Russell? Yeah, Russell Koopman and Russell. Oh shoot, I know it. I just can't think off the top of my head. It's always good when you have two Russells in there. Yeah, Eamon. I knew that. And I got a Clay in here and an Amber, Crazy J, Dennis, but he hasn't posted lately. Brian's on here. I like when Brian's on here. He's got a lot of good information. Pulling a lot of honey too. Cool though. That's cool. I'm hoping to pull a lot more honey next year. I should have eight. Well, I'm going to be setting up for 18 hives. Yeah, I should have 18 production hives next year that are um, doing good. I'll have two queens, an old queen and a new queen on top. Hopefully, all my new queens on top make it. If I lose a couple of the bottom queens, those are just nukes I won't be selling. At least it gives me some flexibility. Or I could keep the old queen in the box, which is she's only a year old. She's not really old. She's not a second year queen. She's still a first year. She's an April queen of this year. So she'll be a year old next flow. But I'll have to do a demory on her or something like that, or she'll swarm on me. And we got Collector Rick, the bee collector Rick on there. We got one thing in common that we stack. I stack mostly silver. I do have a little bit of gold, but not much. I just bought 20 more ounces on the dip. So maybe one more dip tomorrow, or not tomorrow, about 2 or 3 days, might go down to 54, $55. Comb cutting. Yeah, Brian, I was bummed. I put my frames in and I put them in with new frames, which was a stupid mistake on my end, and I didn't get any comb honey this year. I had them all in one. I should have spread them out in different boxes, but I got to learn not to. I put queen excluders on everything and expect the bees to put comb on the frames, and I should know better than that. I should put at least put let them make the comb in the boxes on my supers. So that's good. Yeah, both Russells are nice Russells. I don't know anybody in beekeeping that's not nice. That's one. That's one of the best things I like about beekeeping, the beekeeping world. Some of the younger ones are pretty, a little ornery, but that's because they're young. And yeah, that cut honey some of that cut honey looked really good too. I'm not even sure how much cream honey and hot honey and stuff like that that I'll be making because I can't keep up with my honey sales. Every time I extract a couple buckets of honey, it's gone. It's a good thing, but I can't. I need more hives. I need more productive hives. Yeah, I need to do the same thing, Clay. Um, on my four hives behind me, I'm going to be pulling them again in the next few days. I'm going to take the queen excluders off, and I'm going to put all my supers. I think I got 4 or 5 of them that don't have comb on them, and I'm going to start feeding them. So they, at least I get some of them. Yeah, Brian, everybody's hot honey seems to do well. So I'm hoping to have at least a 5 gallon bucket left over that I can make hot honey with it. But I can't keep up with just selling my 1 pounders and 3 pounders. In fact, I got to Thursday or Friday, I got to go to Bridgetown Finer Meats and restock their shelves because I'm pretty sure they're empty. So I'm having a hard time just keeping up with with my demand. I have to find somebody that has similar honey to me and start buying some of their honey, 5 gallon buckets next year, and then blend it in with mine. The other hot honey on the market sucks. Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's. I think everybody. I know Brian. I think I know 3 or 4 beekeepers that use ghost peppers. So they make ghost peppers must make a good um make good hot honey. And I got a question here from Amber. Do I have out yards? I have 4 out yards of prairies. I got 5 total altogether, counting my yard. Hey, Todd. Todd Watson. Yeah, you always call me that. You see any more of those pseudo scorpion mites? I have a I have my yard number two. I have five hives on it right now. I got three with mated queens, two with virgin queens. I made splits. I have a hard time keeping bees, treatment-free bees at that yard because it's close to the egg fields, corn and soybean fields, and I won't treat them. But I have to have super good genet. My best genetics are there to keep the mites away. That's kind of my proof that egg fields produce mites in your yard because it weakens your bees. But I don't have any scientific proof. That's good. That's good news, Todd, because they love varroa mites. Yeah, it's always good to see those critters in the hive. Real good. So I got Amber. Let's finish off, and then I got a pairing number. The one I got five hives. I'm probably going to keep it at five hives. In fact, maybe in a year or two, I'll get rid of that yard and move the hives back to my place or put them at one of the other yards. My second yard, I got 14 hives. Right now, 13 of them got mated queens. One of them I'm working on. Prairie number three has no number. Prairie number four has four hives, and I'm probably going to leave it at four hives for now. This is a new year for them, and I told them I was going to put four hives on it. Once they get used to me having a few hives on there, I might put eight hives out there. That's only about 20 minutes away from me, about 7 miles, 8 miles. And then I have four hives. Well, I have a possibility of four hives on my friend's farm out in Indiana. It's an hour drive. And I could probably put as many hives. He's got 235 acres, I think, something like that. I could put as many hives out there as I probably want. Right now, my stand can handle five hives, four hives, unless I stack them closer. So maybe in a year or two, I'll get up to maybe eight hives out there, maybe eight hives on the other property. I'll probably I'll have three other four, three, probably four other yards, all with like eight hives, eight, six to eight, 6 to 10 hives, and then I'm hoping to have um, four, five, six, about 12 hives, 12 good hives, and then I have my six, seven resource hives and my horizontal hives to support all those hives. And then every year I'll be doing a little graft in the spring to take care of any hives that need queens from over the winter time. And then most of my grafts will be there at the end of May and June to do replace all my production hives with summer solstice hives and do those 18, or I might be up to 24 screen bottom board splits. But it'll be easier next year because I'll have a deep. Actually, I'm going to switch my hives around next year. I'll have a medium and a deep. That'll be hive one. Then I'll have a deep and a medium, which will be hive. Then I'll have supers after that. And then when it's time to do my double screen boards, I can just take off that uh, deep and medium after I pull the honey or take the deep and medium off, put that on my double screen board. It'll already have its bees, and then put the supers back on until I pull honey, a few weeks later. So it'll be a little bit easier next year. Ooh, hot wings for dinner. That sounds good. I grilled a hamburger, homemade, my own hamburgers I make. All right, Brian, thanks for jumping on. Good luck with your hot wings. I always like wings. I can't handle hot food like I used to, but I still like hot wings. Uh, Rick, I was there one day, and I built a almost 1,000 square foot barn. With the loft, it is 1,000 square feet, and I still don't have enough room. Actually, I want to build another room, or I want to build a lean so I can store all my boxes out underneath the lean outside. Um, just stack them free. Put a rack system up so I can just hang the boxes with the frames in them. Oh, venison steaks. Yeah, Russell, that sounds good too. Venison steaks, a young year and a half old doe venison steaks are the best. Hey, Philip, hope everything's good down there in Texas. And that's good, lean, all protein food. There's venison. So, yeah, that farm, my friend's farm, I didn't told you, my brother and my friend Bob, they were partners in buying this farm that Bob owns now. And then a few years later, a good piece of property popped up just 2 miles, a mile away. So Ed sold his half to Bob, and my brother Ed, bought his own farm. He doesn't want me to have bees on his farm, so I got him on Bob's farm. Yeah. Hopefully, Philip's got some rain down in Texas. I think he has. And his honey's going good, especially on his farm. So yeah, I didn't get this picture. I didn't take my June picture yet, and it's already the 7th. So I'm really bad this year. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I hope first thing in the morning before I leave to my prairie number 3 to pull the honey. So number 2, I went to already and pulled that honey, but I didn't get much out of there. They're 8 frame boxes. I think I got about a box of honey off of them. Like I said, that yard struggles for some reason. Just not a good place. Makes good black locust honey though. Very sweet honey. You haven't. Oh, okay. I haven't heard it drop yet. Wow. Okay. That's a bummer, Philip. So then the prairie number 2, that's the one I need to finish up. 3's done. 4's done. 4 didn't. Actually, I got a box of honey off those swarms, so I can't complain. Out of 3 swarms, I got, well, 2 swarms. One of them was a virgin swarm that I got mated, so it's actually doing pretty good. Hive number 3, but I'm still replacing that queen just because I don't know the genetics. Put my VHS queens over there, daughter queens, which I already did. Well, they got my black. They got my black. They got my German black queens. Okay. I haven't been on Sunday nights because I've been kind of busy on Sunday nights. Maybe I'll submit some of my honey for Tim and Hannah on their personal tasting test. I don't know if I'll do honey for Nobby again. I didn't do it last year. I don't know if I'll do it this year either. Especially if I'm a vendor, I won't have time. In my little, only in my little 10-foot booth. Wow. Phil, you must have had a bad. You must have not had. Not having that rain must have really hurt. So I'm hoping to have. Let me see. The four queens, four hives in my place, the 12 frames, the 12 6 over 6. So that's 16 hives. I already got my 7 hives in my horizontal hives. 16. So that's 23 hives. So 23 hives on my place, plus the 5 to 6 nukes. So that's 23. That's 29 hives just on my property, but 6 of them will be nukes. And then 14 on the other property, 4, maybe 5 on the other property, 3 or 4 on the fourth property, and 1 or 2 on the fifth property. So how many hives is that? Anybody do the math? I didn't do all the math. I think that was 29 plus 4, probably 33, plus 3 or 4 again, that's 37, plus 2, about 40. I guess that's 40 or 50 hives. That's good, Coop. Back up to 25. So, yeah, I don't know how many. I'll probably put my swarm traps out, but I probably won't go out too many times to get swarms out of people's trees. Well, if I do, I'll just be doing it for other people and give them all away. And to that point now, I don't need swarms anymore. I catch a few in my boxes. Catch the ones down in Indiana, bring them back. The Amish ones, and that's about it. And I put a bunch out in my yard, see if any swarms fly in. That usually happens every year. That's a good plan, Coop, because queens during the summertime will not will not swarm the next falling's first the flow, um, unless they don't have room. But as long as you give them room, comb frames room, they won't swarm. Very rarely. I can't say they won't. One out of a thousand, 10,000 might. Not many. So you don't have to worry about. That's the one reason I like doing this. I get nuke sales, plus I don't hurt my hives, and I don't have to worry about a bunch of hives swarming. So I just have 1 or 2 or 3 my resource hives, depending on how much I need to use them to worry about them swarming. Because I don't replace those queens. Well, unless I have extra. Right now, all 7 of those with. I think that'll be the first winter that I'll have all 7 of those with hives in them. So that's a good sign. And the purple lid one with the tall lid's got all my VHS daughter queens that I did in the springtime. The flat lid ones, that's 3 hives. I know one of them's a swarm, one of them's a split. I think one's a swarm and 2 of them's a split, but I replaced that queen, so they all got. That box is a little unknown on the queens. I don't have any. I don't keep notes on those boxes. Um, but they're doing good. So only one of those. Oh yeah, it was my was a queen from last year that overwintered, and I split her into the other 2, and then I split her into the other ones. But then I sold those queens and I replaced them with VHS queens. So the purple box one, it's got my VHS daughters, and then I'll get with you in a minute, Coop. and the bottom one has was a swarm from last year that made it through winter. So I made splits with her, and it was my resource hive. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm good with second year queens. I mean, I think they're just as good, if not just as good as um, a regular queen. One of my queens, which one is it? Oh, my VHS queens will be 3 years old next year. So those are all, and they actually make good honey too. Oh, my nose itches. So next year, all my queens will be queens that actually was just born here this past few weeks, past month, June, a little bit of July. So they actually, they'll be, 8 months old when the flow starts in April. Basically, 6 months this month, and then April 5th, 3 more months. They'll be like 9 months old. So they're kind of like a second year queen, but they're not. I mean, they're a first flow queen. Most of them usually do really well. I do think if I had a rule of thumb, my mite resistant queens, which is my number one priority, are just average honey producers. So probably my next goal is getting mite resistant queens that are good honey producers and not too in decent temper. Um, those are probably the three. I don't know, but I mean, I have pretty big hives, and those are all VHS queens, so they got a lot of Italian in them, so they did pretty good actually. But I wouldn't call them a super queen yet. So I gave that. I sold that queen a couple of years ago. I had a queen that was huge, and she really laid up. She liked to swarm because she was laying 2,000 eggs. She was one of those 2,000 eggs a day layer, and because the other lady, she lives pretty close to me. Um, she needed some brood. So I said, "Well, I got a queen that's a brood producer." Yeah, Todd, great question, Randy. What's for supper? Brian's having hot wings, so Todd's probably grilling steaks or something. Yeah, that's what I think. Todd's grilling steaks today. See how close I got. Yeah, Coopman, that's a really good question. How well they do up here in your cold. Amber RTX Phillip, he posted he hasn't pulled any honey yet because he hasn't gotten much rain down in Texas. He's just gotten some, so maybe his flow will be starting. Ribeye. Oh, I was close. Yeah, well, I said steak, so ribeye and potatoes. Oh, that sounds good. Beats my hamburger, that's for sure. Lane's probably starting to get some honey now. We've got an inch of rain. That's a start and a little rain today. So that's all good stuff. Keith was in the 4th of July parade. I saw that with his family, I guess it was, and friends were in the back. Well, that's good, Bill. I've pulled six. I've pulled and extracted 6 buckets so far, 6 5-gallon buckets, and I fill them all to like a quarter inch from the top, close to 60 pounds. So I'm right around that same spot, 350, 360. I have 4 deeps and 8 supers to pull over my other yard. Um, are they all 100% full? I don't know. I don't know. I think a few of them are. So I probably have a few more buckets. Then on my hives back here, I pulled once a month over a month ago, and I think they're half full again. So I might get a couple more buckets there. And I think I got about 3 deeps in my horizontal hives that I got to pull out of 10 frames. But they're not thick because they're all, they're tight frames. I don't have any spacers I do with them. I probably should. I probably could. The ones on top, I should put a little gap between them so they make them thicker. I'll probably do that for next year. So I probably got, I don't know, 5 more buckets maybe. So I'll end up with about 10, 11, 12 5-gallon buckets. If I do that, that should give me hopefully enough honey to last most of this year and some of next year. What happened, Bill, in your 9 frame? Did they build them thick and thin? Yeah, I needed frame. I needed comb on my frames, which I have now. That's why they're all tight. So next year I can separate thick. I can put spacing between them. Wavy, huh? Yeah, they sometimes do that, but when you go to extract them and you, cut the cappings off, that should straighten them out a little bit. Half capped. Yeah, one thing I found out, my queens, they might be good on mites, but they're not good on capping honey. So I have to do a lot of shaking and testing. I must have just did a shake test. They don't like capping. They just cap half of the frame. Hey, DC Dave. Hope everything's good there on the West Coast. He's probably eating. Got to eat his dinner too. Hope everything's good out there. So I do my So I have my Apame hive that's in the cold way. I'm trying to think of my apiary number 2. The 8 frames are cold way. That's 3 of them. So I have still 3 hives left that are at the cold way, and the 8 frames will stay that way until we replace the boxes, and the Apame hives will stay that way. I actually have one of my VA, no, my black German black hives in the Apame hive. That's not a good thing. I've never been successful overwintering a hive in my Apame hive. I might have to swap that box out to one of my warm boxes. Yeah, right now I'm not a big fan of Apame hives because I can't. I only lose hives in that box. I don't understand why. I can't keep an Apame hive. Well, you're having a good year, DC. 800 pounds. So I don't even think I'm going to have the total of 800 pounds this year. I hurt myself this year. They're pulling those nukes out and not having mated queens. So this is my last year doing that. I will not take one of my hurt any of my production hives. Okay. Well, Raven shower last year I did the same thing, and I put a 1 inch insulated board on it, and I taped up the vents so I'd seal it. And it might have been just a bad genetics in it. So this year I know I got good genetic, or I got the German black queen in it. I'll do the same thing. Take take the feeders out and put insulation in there. Okay. Yeah. I've noticed my queens are already starting to slow down a little bit, especially, just going full blast in the main box, but the top box, they're backfilling with honey, which is great. So that way I don't have to feed them as much. And our clover is still looking really, really good. And if we get rain tomorrow or Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, that'll push it another week. That'll get me basically through July with with clover. Hey, Hanley Homestead, how's it going? And so, yes, I haven't given up on the apame yet, and I haven't worked on creating a warm way apame hive that still has the um, pollen trap in it. That's going to take some work. Well, that'd be a good place. Have holy bees. DC's expanding. I don't think I'll be expanding anymore. If anything, I'll be shutting down my Hooven hive yard in Hooven, Ohio. Get them away from the egg fields. They just kill too many of my bees. They do great up to this time of year. All the hives are looking good right now, and when the corn and soybeans just about flowering now, they'll be spraying it, and the hives will be cut back. They just don't recover. Yep, God always has a plan. All right, that's cool. Yeah, so my hives I got in the Western Hills, on the west side of Cincinnati. There's actually a lot of woods because there's a big creek. There's a huge creek that runs through there, and actually my hives are right next to the creek. Up from it, so if it floods, it shouldn't get my hives. It's up on a little knoll, kind of. Um, but it's a lot of businesses, a lot of concrete, a lot of families, a lot of houses. So it'll be interesting. Keith has time. Yeah, well, it's hot where he's at, so he doesn't pull his honey during the daytime. So he's resting now. I'm probably pretty close to that. Yeah, I say you do, Dave, DC. There you go. Bless the bees. That's a good idea, Randy. Yeah, I don't think I could ask my local church. They got too many baseball fields. Too many kids back there, and it's all straight downhill at the very end. Actually, yeah, it wouldn't be good. And then they got a walking trail through one part where there's woods, a little. I wouldn't call it woods, just a little area. Well, that wouldn't be good either. You know, I'm putting them there. Plus, it's only 2 miles from my house. So it's too close. My third apiary is only a mile and a half from my house, but that's kind of not too bad. I mean, that's my main yard. My house now is just my splitting yard and four hives. So, so you have to remember, I only got four hives in my place and some nukes to sell. That's what I told her I'd be doing. Hey, Eric, I'm glad you're here, Colorado. I'm in the Rocky Mountains. Everyone wants peace. Yeah, I mean, I got a new friend, Rick. I'll be buying three hives. He hasn't told me yet if you want 8 frames or 10 frames, but I think it's going to be 10 frames. Hey, Mark, glad to join me. Um, and he'll be buying at least a nuke from me, and then he's going to be either buying my swarm traps or building them, my tote ones. Small hive beetles. One thing I've noticed on small hive beetles, I still have my swarm traps out, and those are the blackest, most um, foam frames. But there's no pollen in those boxes, and I get no small hive beetles in that box. So it's only that pollen that they um, need. Yeah, DC. Yeah, I just didn't. I kind of changed my plans a little bit, going with more screen bottom boards, and I got busy with my house. I couldn't just have time to go out there and hit all those hives like I wanted to and pull those queens. So yeah, maybe next year or this next spring. Yeah, James got three, and he texted me today or yesterday that they're doing great. That was yesterday. So the three I shipped him are doing real good. One of them was a new queen, brand new queen, and I was didn't know about her, but sounds like she's doing all right. Okay, DC, Mr. Ed, and huge cockroaches. Yeah, I only could give him three though because my fourth one was a lane worker. So, so I did shake that laying worker out, and then 3 days later, I went and put a virgin queen in there. I did check the laying worker, and there was no eggs in the hive. So all the laying worker bees were out in the field 50 yards away where I dumped them out in the field. So I put a queen cell in there that was going to merge out. And yeah, that was on Wednesday and emerged out on Saturday. So it'd be interesting if that um, laying worker hive accepted that queen and she gets mated. I did check, and she did get them merged out. So, but I didn't check to see if CZ was in there because I won't. I don't like disturbing um, hives when they got virgin queens in them. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you what? You were on Joey's 4th of July. Yeah, I was at a party. Got my wife's cousin, so I was busy. Oh, well, that's awesome, DC. Yeah, bees, bees, and Mother Nature humbles everybody, gets them in the right path because it's just I've been getting into flowers a little bit more and just how beautiful flowers are created. It's like, yeah. And have some flowers like the chestnut tree it puts out pollen. Some do almost all nectar, very little pollen. Some do both. It's amazing, and it's all time for the time of the year. Yeah, DC it does take 5 or 6 years, and you see, I'm on my ninth year, and I'm still making little tweaks and changes. Actually, I'm going back to something I used to do a few years ago with double screen boards overwintering. So I did that, and then I stopped doing it because I wasn't going to sell nukes. But then people kept asking me to buy my nukes because they don't want to treat their bees. So I'm trying to do both and still have honey. So it's a little bit more work this time of year doing all these splits. Yeah, outyard beekeeping, it's the same, DC. You just got to plan a little bit to make sure you take enough stuff out there and don't forget anything. I mean, most of my yards are only 20-minute drives. Yeah, none of them are more, except for one. And that gets what I get. But I only have two hives right now out there with one good virgin queen and one bad queen, maiden queen. All right, Amber. Have a great week too. And catch you next week. Be safe. Be happy. Be happy. Yeah. I, how many do I have tonight so far? I hadn't even looked on my YouTube. 32. I guess Bob's not on again. He wasn't on last week, I don't think. Got 13 happy hands. So hit that like hand. Actually, you can hit even the down hand. They all get counted. I don't even know why they have that one. Kind of stupid. There's 30 people watching. It was 32. Hey, Joe. Good to see you on here. Joe Perry Company Bees. Yeah, we're just talking about all the um, summer solstice queens I've been doing to this year. The most ever grafting. I'm getting, gonna be time to start feeding. So I got a little issue there with my 10 framers. They all got my insulation boards on there. And I'm not going to poke a hole in them. I need to buy some plywood, just cut lids, make lids out of them, and put holes in them so I can feed them. You're right, Eric. Yeah, DC's had a good year. 800 pounds of honey. That looks cool. That's good. You got that um, refrigerator converted. That was a good deal. And you got nice shelters. I never did build that lean DC. I thought about it today actually, getting that lean built. But my house, doing the house was priority number one. You know, I'd love to get that lean right. Then maybe next year, maybe this winter. See how bad winter is this year. I actually like doing my projects in the winter time. I don't like it getting all hot and sweaty. Plus, my helpers won't help me with the bees flying around. So I had to do it after it gets cold. New extractor, bottling tank, vaporizer. I want to buy one of those handy dandy um, smokeless smokers with the oils in it. And I like the gun one. Who's the guy who sells that? I'm gonna buy one of his. The gun style, not the paddle style. Anybody know offhand who that get that contact information? Yeah, a lot of my honey's actually down in the bottom boxes, but I'm leaving it with them. I'm not taking it. Technical beekeeping. Oh, thank you, Eric. I couldn't think of that. Beekeeping. For all my out yards, I want to get one of his smokers because that one thing is a pain in the butt getting a smoker out on your out yards, then shutting it down for your drive. Right. So get one of those for next year mostly. This fall. Yeah, six swarms. Do you know I got my what was that? 3 years ago, I did a cut a tree down, took the whole trunk with me. I set it up as a swarm trap last year and this year. So that was 2 years ago, and I've not caught a swarm in that tree. They've gone to my hives, they've gone to my traps. They haven't gone to the tree for the waiting list for the. Yeah, I know there's a waiting list for that smoker, Joe. I'm gonna maybe do get one this weekend from the tech, and yeah, he has a ability. Everyone knows by hand, basically. I'm pretty sure he's not automated at all. Maybe I'll do that for him. I could do that for him, automate it, put a little controller out there. Have it made, but yeah, I'm going to be buying a 3D printer probably in the next week to 2 weeks too, real soon. My wife says wait till we get we get moved back up to the first floor so I can have room down in the basement to put it to do it. So I'll be buying a 3D printer real soon. Yeah, good. That is good, Joe. So you're a week ahead of me. Maybe I'll do it tonight after the beach chat. See how long I go tonight. I guess Bob's not on because I got 29 people still watching. I didn't check my phone. I don't think I probably got unsubscribed. You know how YouTube does that from Bob. Well, my camera's got hit. Security cameras. Okay. Nothing too. I have to check to see if I'm still subscribed. I like that idea. Hardwood smoking pellets. Yeah, I got a bunch of that in my smoker, underneath my smoker. I usually just use a little bit of paper or um, stuff, and I put sticks in and burn sticks, small sticks. And they once the sticks get going, they last forever. I haven't used pellets, but I'm gonna get one of those technicality beekeeping smokers. Order one now. I have it for sometime for next year for all my out yards. I guess I need to buy like five of them and just keep it out there. Okay. Yeah, I could use hickory pellets from my smoker, the common pellets. And actually, I can go to the tractor, Royal King or Tractor Supply and get just one of the open bag of pallets. I'll get one of those smokers that won't need to buy oil. Oh, so anybody got any questions or anybody technical bee stuff or anything? They draw foundation. If you feed them DC, there's good chances they'll still make foundation. They'll keep going. If you feed them light, like point 0.5, point 0.7 to 1 to simulate nectar coming in. And if you do a little bit of open feeding, that actually helps that they're bringing it in. That actually helps too. So I'll be doing some open feeding here once I pull all the honey, I'll start open feeding. And my help might add two Mike's bees too and stuff like that. And my other yard's only um, a mile and a half away, so I might be helping those bees, but I help my own bees. Oh, what the heck? Just drove by my private drive, flashing lights. I gotta check something, guys, real quick. Okay. Oh, okay, Beth. They must have went up to the neighbor's house. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Actually, it's kind of funny. I bought during just a couple months ago, I bought 280 frames, and I'm down to 9 frames. I've used them all up. Crazy. I've gone through I've gone through at least 500 deep frames this year. I don't know where I put them all. Yeah. I don't like the big hives. I mean, the ones in my background, the biggest I let them get, I pull them, extract them, and put them back on. Um, I will be putting these 4 hives plus my other yard that's close by boxes, supers back on just to help all my other hives when I'm feeding, just help hives that, especially my 10 framers, so they have a medium box. So that will be something I'll be doing. Um, getting my supers filled back up with sugar water honey to, for the all my splits, my 18 splits. So the good news is those boxes won't be going back into storage. They'll be out on my hives. So I'll have 36 supers out on my hives for overwintering this year. So that's one thing I'm going to change. My main brood box will be a super first, then a deep, and then queen excluder, then a deep and a medium super on top of that. That way I can move brood frames from the first deep into the second deep without having to take a super off. So that's one little change I'm going to make. Just like I told you, DC, I've been doing this many years, and I'm still making little changes. Oh, good question. That's the How many pounds of sugar do you think I'll buy this year? I bought 300 so far. I bet you I'll be close to 1,000, 900, 1,000. I need to go to Royal King. That's a 50-minute drive for me. I wish they had a store closer to me. And they got the best price on honey, on sugar, I mean. And I'm going to be up 900 pounds, 1,000 pounds of sugar if I get all my feeding in. I have to go. I'll need another two. That's 600, 900. Yeah, I'd say around 900 pounds, maybe a little bit more. Well, I'll take that back, Russell. There's been a ton of posts this year about the spider and lantern fly, the different stages, and I actually have seen more this year on my place. So if we get the spider and lantern fly flow, I might not have to buy all that sugar. And if it keeps raining and we get the clover goes into another month, gets me into through August, I won't have to. It's going to get me through July. To get through August or half of August, I won't have to buy as much. So I would say it's going to be anywhere from 500 to 900 pounds, just depending on the spotted lantern September flow and yeah, my bees eat honey. And well, I still do much of their honey, Rick. I don't leave them any. I'm leaving them more this year. Wife buys it. I got you. Yeah, it is better for them. But since I insulate, you can see the insulation on my background on my picture. If I move my body out of the way, I got two different types that I'm doing a test on. I actually like the grayish green insulation better than the blue stuff. Um, my bees actually don't go in the past before I insulated my bottom boards. My bees would skip the honey and go right to the top of the box because that's the warmest and eat my sugar bricks or my mountain camp, which I used to do the first few years. And they'd skip all the honey that I fed them during the year. Now, with my warm way, plus having insulation anywhere from 2 inches to 3 inches of insulation underneath my bottom board, and my bottom boards are solid boards that are sealed to the insulation, so that's another 3/4 of an inch. Um, my bees now actually work their way up through the honey to the emergency sugar bricks. In fact, this past winter, 80% of my bees did not even make it up to the through the super, through the deep, through the super into the um, sugar bricks. So they consumed all the sugar, water, honey um, before they even needed my sugar bricks. That's one reason I decided to go with the double screen board again because I can put that sugar in there and hopefully most of the 18 hives never need to go into my shim sugar bricks. So I have right now left over about a dozen sugar bricks from last year that weren't touched. And I'll probably need to make about 50, 60 more sugar bricks. So that'll be, I'll use a couple 100 pounds there making sugar bricks. And I'm probably going to make a little bit of fondant to put in with the sugar bricks. Yeah, I might buy Hive Alive. Instead of making it, I might buy Hive Alive fondant. I'll definitely buy some at Nobby to put in my top of my hives if I need it. I don't need it. I bought that pollen patties, global patties, and I still got a lot. I got still got some of it left. So yeah, you don't sell honey. Yeah, I sell a lot of it. So that's why I need to buy sugar, unless I have spotted lanternfly. So I think it's going to be really bad. Um, get really bad soon. I got a little bit closer to the speaker, so I'm leaning back again. That's funny. So I got it for 70 cents a pound at Rural King when I went there a few weeks ago. So I had my wife's car and I couldn't buy that many pounds, so I'll have to go up there in my truck where I can buy 400 pounds, 10 pound. They come in 4 packs of 10, 40 pounds a piece. So buy about 10 of those. And that'll get me up to 70 pounds. That should do it. That should get me the spotted lanternfly, the clover. Um, that should be close, Russell. Then I can just buy whatever I need after that. Whew. Because actually, I mean, I have just in my 18 hives, that'll be 36 hives I got to get filled up. So I'm combining them. Yeah, Eric, you're exactly right. By Matt's. I got his recipe right here. So he gave it to me. So I might make some of my own. Dude, I got those I got 3 gallon pot. I got a 5 gallon pot. I got a 14 gallon pot that I used to brew beer in my young days when I was a homebrew brewing because you couldn't buy any good beer 20 years ago. Um, I could use one of those to make the fondant in, make a pretty big batch of it at a time. Use my 5 gallon one. I could make, so I might need more sugar just to make um, Matt's fondant. Yeah, all these. Yeah, Philip. I get mine about 80, 75 to 80 cents per pound at all these 4 pound bags. It actually varies. I have four different. I used to go to four different all Aldi's, and they all had different prices. Add some fast blue ribbon. That's funny. I could. I mean, instead of using water, 100,000 milliliter water for for a 10-pound recipe. But that's the same thing. Using Pabst Blue Ribbon instead of water. I can tell you a funny story, Bill, about Pabst Blue Ribbon. They used to sponsor my family softball team. One of the catcher, Chris Goldrainer, um, he he worked for them, and they'd sponsor a half barrel for every one of our games, softball games. When I was a kid, when I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't brew that kind of beer though. It's funny. Yeah, I could swap that out. I wonder how that would change it. 3, 4% alcohol in it. Well, it wouldn't hurt the bees any. I do got to change all the milliliters to ounces. Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's punishment. PBR. Yeah, I think you're right, Philip. Those stores are priced for the area, and the store actually in Western Hills has the best price. So I need to check that one. I used to go to one where I used to work, and they were $1 more. So right now, World King was my best lowest price. You guys are funny. So you guys got any other things you guys want to talk about? Crafting tools. Um, Bill brought it up yesterday. I really do like the German grafting tool, the spoon one. I think that's a German. I've seen two different types of German one. I like the little spoon one, but I like to buy royal jelly and prime my cups if I'm going to use it, and I usually don't think ahead of time. Yeah, store bought booze. I don't. I drink non-alcoholic cans of beer like beer these days. Athletics makes some. Sam Adams makes some pretty good ones. And I brewed, shoot, this will be 2 years now, 4 cases of beers, two different beers. And I still got 4 bottles left. So that's how much I drank it. All right, Bill. Have a great night. I think I'm going to end at 9:30 like I normally do. Seems like I've about run out of things to talk about. But I'm probably going to start priming my when I graft next year. Put it in my refrigerator, store it. I gotta learn about how long that stores royal jelly, and or if you can even freeze it. I probably can't freeze it and store it, and at least do it for the summer solstice ones, and then use my German grafting tool. I have probably 50 Chinese grafting tools, and I think I only like one or two out of the 50 now. All right. I actually need to throw them all away because they're all used up, and some of them I've never used because they don't work good, and buy some more grafting tools or buy royal jelly. I don't know how expensive that stuff is. I know you can buy it on Amazon. So, whew, how many people I got? 28. So it's slowly dropping. But 28 is still good. Got to talk about a little bit about some food. What people are grilling. People out the west side, the west country people. Ah, so I'm hoping by the end of this week, my house is 95% done. The TV shows up next week. Our couches shows up next, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. We bought new blinds for the house for the first floor, except for the bedrooms. Um, they're supposed to be in about another week. I'll be putting those up myself probably because I might be too late getting them in. So, and I need to buy three bar stools for my countertop that hangs over on an island that sticks out. Our old ones don't match, so I need to buy some of those. Still, I haven't done that yet either. That's about it left. So, finally getting done. Finally. I never did turn on my lights. I'm a little bit in the dark. Hey, that's a little bit better. I really do like having all my boxes in the warm way. It makes it so much easier grabbing my frames. I don't have to turn them or nothing. I pull them right out and I can look at them and just flip them around to look on the other side. I just flip them upside down and look at the other side. So I really like that. Pick up the frames from the left and right side. Brad told me I would, so he was right up there in Canada. I don't know. So that's some of the stuff I'll be selling. Warm way bottom boards. So if I do get my vendors, I'll be buying a whole bunch of them and gluing them and assembling them for the show. I won't be making much money on them because I won't be making them myself. But if I buy enough of them, I can work directly with one or two guys, get them at a wholesale type price. So, yeah, that's my game plan. Yeah, down to 24 people now. How many likes did I get? Hit that like button. That's 17, 25 people watching right now. Not too bad. Getting better and better each week. I think the only negative thing I know about going the worm way is it takes up a little bit more space on your stand. Because instead of being 16 inches on center, now I'm basically 20 inches on center. 4 inches difference. So there's not quite as you have to space them out a little bit farther apart to keep like a nuke box in between them. Oh, hey Norman. Yeah, well, somebody just dropped off, so you made 25 and now it's down to 24. How you doing? Yeah, and I'll be getting off probably in about 15 minutes. Glad you got on here though. I know you're doing good, because you what I've noticed so far. Dennis is still here. Yours says 29 people. Mine says 24. Well, maybe I haven't updated it in 5 minutes. I think it's a running update. Like mine says 26 right now. I just updated it. So that's cool. I don't know what I got up to, 35 maybe. I saw 34, but I didn't update it, so it changes. People drop in, drop out. Especially the people that live out west because they got to eat their dinner. Todd and DC. Who else was out there? Um, Colorado. Brian was out there. Dennis down south. How do I process my beeswax? That's a great question, Mark. I have a solar melter. That's what I use most of the time, but I've been bad this year. I got more wax this year to melt. I haven't been melting it with my solar wax melter. And then if I have time, I put it through a second time, and that usually is good enough to put in my waxing tank for making my um, candles. So that's how I do. I use my I I put uh, a cloth, a paper towel on my wax solar wax filter, and that does the first filter. And then I'll put them in the into the block tray blocks, and I'll put those back into the and run it through a new paper towel, and that gets like 98% of the stuff out of it. So, and then I put it in my wax, and that's how I filter it. I don't do any shows. I don't run it like some people run their waxes through like t-shirts, thick double thick t-shirts to get every bit out of the wax for show keeping. But I don't go that far. So I if I have to, I'll boil it in water and scrape off the bottom. But I use the solar wax melter the most of the time. Yours doesn't do well. Mark, I tilt mine with a 2x4 to get it more of an angle that gets more of the early morning versus my slope. The one I bought the one from I don't know the name of the company, but I actually tilt it with a 2x4 to get the 10 o'clock sun or 9 o'clock sun versus and then it gets hot, and then when it goes up top, the box is already hot inside. And I do put a little weight on the lid to seal it better, so that hot air stays in it. Mark, if that helps you out any. Yeah, which solar melter do you have? How about the one that was pretty popular a few years ago, like 4 years ago? Hey, Lisa, how you doing? You go 1,000 pounds, 1,044. Yeah, I bet your honey house is full. I bet you won't need a bigger one. I wouldn't be surprised if you already need a bigger one. I'm sure your little honey house shack is filled to the max. Yeah, I don't have the Hilco. I got some other one, but Hilco's is built similar to it. I don't. Let me look there. It's up real quick. Oh, come on! I thought it would come up right here. Here we go. Yeah, that's just like the one I bought. Very similar some years ago. And yeah, the pictures, Lisa, that you showed, it looks like you have it really well organized. And I'm sure you're doing well. Probably with all those Southern people around you. That's probably cool. Probably do a lot of talking to just good people coming in. So I would put a board underneath the backside of it, angle it a little bit more, and I got skinny metal bars I put in the front and back of the lid so I don't not blocking the screen, the open area, the lid, and that seems to help. And Clay tilts his too. Yeah, I do. I use a 2x4. That's how much I tilt it. About 2x4. So try that, Mark. Tilt it and maybe put a little weight on the top and bottom of the lid to keep it sealed tight. I use just a steel bar, 1 inch bar, so I'm not blocking the lid so much. That I think that helps too. Keeps the warm air in, hot air in. Don't want to let any of that hot air out. So, oh, Brian's still on here because he said congrats. Yeah, I need to scrape mine out and put more wax in. That old comb, you don't get a whole lot of wax out of that old comb and it makes it dirty. Yeah, keep filling it up. I've been bad this year, Clay, not filling mine up, and I got 3 or 4 5 gallon buckets full of wax, mostly wax cappings. Yeah, and that's cool, Lisa. 17%. That's good. That's a good number. I think I like anything under 18. I had a friend. She's a pretty new beekeeper. She bought bees from me 2 years ago. They got 3 hives, I think. Her honey was 19, so I told her to get put it in a warm room and with a humidifier. And she got it down to 18. I said 18's fine. You don't have to worry about 18. 19's getting a little iffy. I told her. I said 20's bad. We're getting higher than that. 19's on the bubble. She got it down to 18 the last time I talked to her. I said, you probably can get it down to 17 or 17 and a half. So, yeah, Clay, I need to do this. I need to get for the comb, black comb, I need to just boil that one, not put that in the solar melter because it makes the stainless steel in the bottom tray black. And you just scrape it all off. So yeah, my honey's been right around 16 to 18 so far, 17% average. It's about the same. We've gotten pretty, we're above average on rain, but it's been coming down in buckets. Yeah, that's what I have one clay, and that's what I need to use for the nasty stuff. You know, you gotta get that cappings cleaned up a little bit more. I leave my capping tank out for a week, and then the rain clears out the rest of the honey, then it dries out. So I don't like getting that wax in the that wax honey out in my solar melter. I bought 3.5 gallon buckets. I bet you bought a bunch of them, Granny, Lisa. I might start buying those 3.5 gallon buckets because I'm not a young puppy anymore either. I do have my tractor though. I have my zero turn. I can put a couple buckets on that and take it down to my backyard. Right now, I do all my bottling in my basement, not in the barn. So I need to actually build a little room or put a spot in my barn so I don't. But this time of year, it gets so hot in my barn. Um, I like doing it down my basement. Yeah, I let my actually I only like right now my tank my uncapping tank has cappings in it that I did 3 weeks ago and it's still draining. So I keep mine in there for as long as I keep mine in my uncapping tank until it's full and I gotta get some out and then I put it in the bucket. And I let it sit in the bucket until I put in the solar and maybe a lot of it goes down the bottom. So actually, Lisa, I need to buy some more buckets at Nobby this year, so I might buy some 3.5 ones, or I can buy them from U.S. Plastics, get a really good price. Actually, that's what I'll do. And it's a 2-hour drive to Lima, Ohio, and pick them up and save $150 in shipping. Yeah, and honey, the buckets, right? So the bucket lids work. Yeah, I guess they're what instead of about 60 pounds, I guess they're about 45 pounds, Lisa. Now I can calculate it. What's 3.5 of 5 of 60? Yeah, 35 pounds, 30 pounds, 30 pounds. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I might start doing that myself. E-packaging supply either. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if I could get Anchor Glass, which is 15 minutes, yeah, 15 minutes from my house, maybe 18 minutes if I hit the lights. If I could get them to make classic or Queen's glass bottles, I'd be in business. They don't make that bottle. They make beer bottles and mason jars and stuff like that, but they don't make the 1 pounder bottles. I think the glass is right there in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, about 15-minute drive from me. Then I'd be set. I'd have two plastic companies and Anchor Glass. That's okay. I don't think I'm going to be using all my buckets this year because I've gotten more honey in past years. I really messed up this year going into my hives and taking the nukes out. Evansville, Indiana. Yeah, that's about a e-package supply mark is about that's about a 4-hour drive down to Indiana. Yeah, Evansville. So I got Evansville, Indiana. If I move out to Switzerland County, then it'd only be like a 3-hour drive. Yeah, it's a little far, Evansville. U.S. Plastics is just straight up 75 through Dayton. So I've been to Lima, Ohio. It's just I-75, which I don't like driving anymore. It's always crowded. Even in the middle of the night, it's crowded. A lot of semis on it. Tons of semis on it. All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I should say. There's 30 people watching now, or my last update. Hit that like button. Do an update. Yeah, 30 watching, 20 likes, so that's cool. 2/3. Yeah, Keith, e-package and US Plastics is the same way. I spent $200 in bottles, and I spent 150 in shipping. So I lost all the discounts of the bottles. So I need to probably buy bottles in, but US Plastic doesn't do glass, so I have to have. I'll buy glass at Nobby from probably Miller. I don't know who else is going to have glass bottles. That way I don't have to pay the shipping. Yeah, 5 to 10 years worth. Then you have to store it somewhere. I actually still have two boxes, no, one box of 5 gallon buckets I haven't opened yet. 5 buckets. So I'm down to my last 5 buckets. You can buy some of that um what's that sugar called? Shoot. The inverted sugars and reuse their buckets because they're sugar buckets. I have a couple of them. I bought sugar from them. So well, 9:31. I'm still going. Because we don't have Bob and the Canadians going. Just old me, and nobody jumped on again. That's a bummer. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. I need to go to technical beekeeping and order one of his. Get on the waiting list. Oh yeah, Keith, that's a good idea. I'm a Prime member. I buy I buy too much from Amazon. But you know what? My wife and I looked for bar stools, and we didn't find anything we liked. So we looked on Amazon, and we got 4 different ones that we're picking from. That they don't, all the stores sell the same thing. All right, night, everybody. Have a great day, and have a great week. Night, I mean, have a great week, and see everybody next Tuesday. You'll find out about my next Tuesday. I should know how many of those 19 splits have made it queens. So I'll have that update for my German black queens. Hey James, I'm just getting off now, shutting down. So I'm glad you made at least the ending. All right, night everybody. I told everybody that your 3 queens are doing well that I shipped to you, and Todd confirmed. So all right, guys, night. God bless.